Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Commanding General, Major General Darrell O. Hood, and the post Command Sergeant Major, William Schoaf, welcome to United States Army Training Center in Fort Jackson for the retirement review of 3 soldiers and graduation of companies Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, and Echo from the 3rd Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment, 165th Infantry Brigade. Please stand for the invocation given by Chaplain Anderson.
Please join me in prayer. God of grace, Lord of mercy, we thank you for loving us with a perfect love. Thank you for your joyful presence here today as we honor these graduates and celebrate with friends and family. We thank you for the opportunity to honor those who answered the call, endured 10 weeks of rigorous training, and completed the mission. Gracious God, we thank you for drill sergeants, cadre, and staff who dedicated time and energy to build and develop combat-ready soldiers and the future warfighters of this nation. Heavenly Father, as these soldiers are sent out, cover and keep them. Remind every soldier that they are never alone, no matter what the next chapter holds. They can rest assured that you are ready and able to fight every battle, seen and unseen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he turn his face towards you all and give you peace forevermore. Amen.
Please be seated. The purpose of today's ceremony is to recognize the commitment of the men and women you see here who have chosen to serve their country as soldiers. This review is the last official formation in the career of 3 lifelong soldiers, and for our newest soldiers. Not everyone successfully completes this difficult period of training. Far fewer are able to accept the challenges and difficulties that come with the life of a career soldier. But those in formation today represent disciplined, motivated, physically fit soldiers who exemplify the Army's 7 core values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. They are imbued with the warrior ethos and display the tenets of putting the mission first, never accepting defeat, never quitting, and never leaving behind a fallen comrade. This is an important day, and these soldiers can take great pride in their accomplishments. To the parents, families, and friends of these soldiers, Fort Jackson extends a very warm and sincere welcome. We are justifiably proud of our retirees' lifelong dedication to our nation and are truly honored that the next generation standing on this field have chosen to join our ranks. Please direct your attention to the left of the formation. The units marching today from your left to your right are the 282nd Army Band, led by Chief Warrant Officer 4, Jared Delaney. Graduating soldiers from companies Alpha and Bravo, the Battalion Color Guard, and graduating soldiers from companies Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Identified by their distinctive headgear are the drill sergeants. These dedicated non-commissioned officers form the backbone of the Army's training center system, selected based on professional competence, leadership ability, and years of service. These men and women undergo intensive training to earn the right to wear these distinctive hat and insignia. With the drill sergeant hat goes the important responsibility of molding civilian men and women into soldiers. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Captain Stephen Lopez, who serves as the Assistant S3 Operations Officer for the 3rd Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment. He and the battalion staff are positioned on the field. The reviewing officer for today's graduation is the commander of the 3rd Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel John R. Leach. On his left is Command Sergeant Major David Chadburn, the battalion's senior non-commissioned officer, master trainer, and principal advisor to the commander. The commander of troops will now bring forward the colors and persons to be honored.
Colors and persons to be honored. Center. March.
Competence and commitment are the hallmarks of professionalism. The soldiers and drill sergeants coming forward will be recognized for their excellence in training and duty performance and serve as examples to all.
Sir, colors and persons to be honored are formed. Present the command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem. It is appropriate for soldiers in uniform and all armed force veterans to salute the American flag. We ask our civilian guests to please remove your headgear and place your right hand over your heart as our national anthem is played.
Now, present arms. Detachment, present arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Order! March! Now, order march and parade rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to witness the retirement of a lifelong soldier. All soldiers begin their journey by graduating from basic combat training. Over the years, there have been changes to how the Army conducts basic training. However, many things remain the same. It was during basic training that these soldiers were first introduced to the Army values. It is where they learned the importance of teamwork and that the Army truly is a family. That sense of a team and Army family is still embedded in what is done here today. 27, 12, and 20 years ago, these soldiers took the same oath to defend this nation that your loved ones on the field have taken. We salute these great soldiers as they pass the torch of freedom along to the newest generation of soldiers, your loved ones standing on the field today. A certificate of appreciation from the President of the United States will be presented to those retiring today. It reads, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of our grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during critical times in its history with a devotion of duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of the military service. I trust that in the coming years, you will maintain an active interest in the armed forces and the purpose for which you served. Those who follow in your footsteps will draw inspiration from your commitment, dedication, and sacrifices made to ensure the protection of our American freedoms. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. A certificate of retirement from the Chief of Staff, United States Army, is also presented to those retiring today and to the spouses of today's retirees for their dedicated service to our nation. At this time, Major General Hood and Command Sergeant Major Schoaf will recognize our retirees for their service to the United States Army. Major Brody Moberly, on having served honorably for 27 years of service, is placed on the retirement list effective 31 October in 2026. Major Brody Moberly entered active duty in Butte, Montana, and will reside in Columbia, South Carolina upon retirement. His fondest professional achievement are getting to watch his soldiers develop in their careers and becoming exceptional leaders. The nation salutes Brody Moberly, Major, United States Army, retired. Captain Ansem Wagbara, on having served honorably for 12 years of service, is placed on the retirement list, effective 11 August in 2026. Captain Wagbara entered active duty in Boston, Massachusetts, and will reside in Columbia, South Carolina upon retirement. His fondest professional achievement is getting soldiers to see the value in their sacrifice. The nation salutes Ansem Wagbara, Captain, United States Army, retired. Sergeant First Class Sabrine Gilbert, having served honorably for 20 years of service, is placed on the retirement list, effective 31 August in 2026. Sergeant First Class Gilbert entered active duty in Tampa, Florida, and will reside in Columbia, South Carolina upon retirement. Her fondest professional achievement is receiving the Order of St. Barbara. The nation salutes Sabrine Gilbert, Sergeant First Class, United States Army, retired. Please join us in a round of applause for our retirees and their families. Although newly retired, they will always be part of our Army family. The soldiers most responsible for training of these soldiers are the drill sergeants who have carefully selected by the Department of the Army. The drill sergeant campaign hat and badge have been a stoic symbol of professionalism and pride since 1962. At this time, the drill sergeant of the cycle for 3rd Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment will recite the Drill Sergeant Creed. We ask that all drill sergeants, past and present, please stand for the reciting of the Drill Sergeant Creed.
The Drill Sergeant Creed. I am a drill sergeant. I will assist each individual in their efforts to become a highly motivated, well-disciplined, physically and mentally fit soldier capable of defeating any enemy on today's modern battlefield. I will instill pride in all I train, pride in self, in the Army, and in country. I will insist that each soldier meets and maintains the Army standards of military bearing and courtesy, consistent with the highest traditions of the U.S. Army. I will lead by example, never requiring a soldier to attempt any task I would not do myself. But first, last, and always, I'm an American soldier, sworn to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. I am a drill sergeant. This will defend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant Colonel John Leach and Command Sergeant Major David Chatburn will now present the awards. The outstanding drill sergeant of the cycle for 339 Infantry Battalion is Drill Sergeant Brown from Louisville, Kentucky. The soldier leader of the cycle for Alpha Company is Private First Class Robert Tuyos from Kingsville, Texas. The soldier of the cycle for Alpha Company is Private Jesse Finley from Baltimore, Maryland. The soldier leader of the cycle for Bravo Company is Private Jonathan Kwiatkowski from Charlotte, North Carolina. The soldier of the cycle for Bravo Company is Specialist Daniel Santana from Tacoma, Washington. The soldier of the cycle for Charlie Company is Specialist Caroline Poole from Montgomery, Alabama. The soldier of the cycle for Charlie Company is Kara Willis from Poplar Bluff, Missouri. The soldier leader of the cycle for Delta Company is Private Austin Kaja from York, Pennsylvania. The soldier of the cycle for Delta Company is Private First Class Sophia Sloan from Jefferson, Missouri. The soldier leader of the cycle for Echo Company is Micah Diaz from Hagantia, Guam. The soldier of the cycle for Echo Company is Elena Shaver from Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 3rd Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel John R. Leach.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Fort Jackson and Hilton Field for today's graduation ceremony. Joining us today are Major General Hood, Commanding General of the U.S. Army Training Center in Fort Jackson, Command Sergeant Major Schoaf, the Post Command Sergeant Major, Colonel Betty, the commander of the 165th Infantry Brigade, and of course, you, the family, friends, and supporters of the soldiers on the field, the 3rd Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment. For 250 years, our nation, our values, and our way of life have been defended by soldiers just like those on the field before you. Our nation continues to remain free because of men and women willing to answer the call. The soldiers retiring today have fought in wars on behalf of our nation and set the example for a future generation. Major Brody Moberly, Captain Aslim Wagabra, and Sergeant First Class Sabrine Gilbert. These soldiers demonstrate the dedication, courage, and selfless service we expect from all soldiers. They, like the other veterans in the audience today, sitting to your left and right, have defended our cherished freedoms and accomplished any mission assigned to them. As we welcome new soldiers to the ranks of the United States Army today, I would like to offer my deepest appreciation to all the veterans who are present today. Veterans, please stand and be recognized. Since 1973, the U.S. Army has been an all-volunteer force. Men and women have raised their right hand and sworn an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and by extension, the American people, our democracy, and our way of life against all enemies, foreign and domestic. The 1,131 new soldiers on the field before you represent that commitment. The soldiers on the field come from everywhere across our great nation. From the plains to the mountains, from big cities and small towns, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. These soldiers also come from around the world. There are 38 new American citizens who just yesterday received their citizenship and have sworn an oath to defend this nation. They set off on this journey for a variety of reasons. Some to continue a family tradition of service, some to begin a new family tradition. Some joined for an adventure or a new challenge. Many of them joined because they know that becoming a soldier will help you be all you can be. And soldiers and leaders across the Army need that. We need you to be all you can be. For victory on the battlefield and success in war depends on you. When these soldiers arrived at the battalion in May, I talked to them about teamwork and teammates. I told them that in war, we only win as a team, not as individuals. You may frequently hear about how soldiers fight for those to their right and left. No doubt that is true. But the team these soldiers are joining is bigger than that, and they're fighting for more than those few people. They fight on behalf of people they don't know and will never meet because they believe in something bigger than themselves, bigger than any one of us. These soldiers are now united in a brother and sisterhood of arms, bound together with a common purpose and burden of responsibility. No matter their MOS, job, unit, or position, each and every one of these soldiers plays a vital role in success and victory. They've joined an army that has fought for independence, freedom from slavery, to defeat fascism, to push back communism, and to counter terrorism. To the new soldiers on the field today, you arrived at Fort Jackson as individuals, but today you leave as members of the Army team. Thank you for choosing this path. The battalion's motto reminds you of both what you are capable of and what is expected of you. Anything, anytime, anywhere, bar nothing. That is, accomplish the mission with little notice anywhere in the world and overcome all obstacles. It is a high standard. I know you'll live up to these expectations. To the family and friends joining us today, thank you for everything you've done to support the soldiers standing before us. You should be justifiably proud of their accomplishments and the role you played in this journey. You prepared them for this path, instilled in them values, work ethic, perseverance, drive and determination, and a desire to make the most of themselves. You helped them believe when they had doubts. You encouraged them to overcome any obstacle, and you gave them love. You provided all the ingredients that are necessary for success. You have my deepest gratitude. Thank you for what you've done, and thank you for being here today. Round of applause for all the families here. Again, congratulations to our newest soldiers. I look forward to serving with you. AAAO, anything, anytime, anywhere, bar nothing, lightning, and victory.
Today's soldiers is above all a warrior, adaptive, confident, and competent. As a soldier, you are totally committed to the warrior ethos, grounded in Army values and determined to destroy enemies of the United States of America and her allies. The United States Army Soldier Creed embodies this commitment. To the soldiers on the field, the uniform you wear at this moment is more than an outward display of your vocational choice. Your uniform is a symbol of a nation and an unspoken assurance to all who see you that you are willing and able protector of the freedoms fought so arduously for, by who have gone before and those who will bravely come after. You have become what you set out to be, a soldier in the United States Army. The Soldier's Creed is your declaration of your unshakable commitment to the ideals this nation was founded upon and will continue to guarantee. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Private Wyakowski presents a certificate of appreciation to the retirees and leads the soldiers standing before you through the reciting of the Soldier's Creed. Please be seated.
Pass and review.
In consideration of those around you, we ask that you please remain seated and in the bleachers until all soldiers have passed the reviewing stand and the conclusion of the ceremony is announced. As you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it's passed to your right. Once the ceremony has concluded, family members of awardees may meet your soldier under the canopy located to the left of the bleachers. All other family members and friends, please meet your soldier on the field once instructed by the narrator and by their respective companies. The The 39th Infantry Regiment was organized at Camp Syracuse, New York on 1 June 1917 by transfer of veteran troops from the 30th Infantry Regiment. In December, the 39th was assigned to the 4th Infantry Division, and in the spring of 1918, sailed for France as part of the American Expeditionary Force in World War I. The regiment fought with such valor and distinction during this war that it earned its famous nickname, Fighting Falcons. During World War II, the regiment fought as part of the 9th Infantry Division. The Fighting Falcons of the 39th became the first unit of the United States combat troops to set forth on foreign soil when they stormed the beaches of Algiers in November 1942. During fighting in Sicily, Italy, the regiment came under the command of legendary Colonel Harry A. Paddy Flint, who gave the regiment its AAAO, bar nothing slogan. Anything, anytime, anywhere, bar nothing. The regiment took great pride in the AAAO slogan, displaying it on their helmets and vehicles, even in combat. When questioned about the soundness of the practice, Colonel Flint confidently declared, "The enemy who sees our regiment in combat, if they live through the battle, will know now to run the next time they see us coming." For its part in World Wars I and II and the Vietnam conflict, the 39th Infantry Regiment possesses 21 battle streamers. Its decorations include 4 Presidential Unit Citations, 4 French Croix de Gauze, 2 with palm and 1 with gilt star, and the Belgian Fourragère. Following reactivation and transfer to the Training and Doctrine Command, the 3rd Battalion, 39th Infantry Regiment departed Fort Dix, New Jersey for Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Arriving on the 22nd of August, 1990, the battalion is justifiably proud of its historic past and today continues to uphold these same high standards of excellence in basic combat training as it prepares young men and women for service to their nation. Anything, anytime, anywhere, bar nothing. Passing the reviewing stand is the commander of troops, Captain Stephen Lopez, and the battalion staff. The 282nd Army Band is commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 4, Jared Delaney. The drum major is Staff Sergeant Cam Chandler. Alpha Company is commanded by Captain Hollis Shoptaw. First Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Christopher Adams and trained by Drill Sergeant Emily Cribb. Second Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Robin Leroy and trained by Drill Sergeant Mitchell Whitaker. Third Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Paul Gaitan and trained by Drill Sergeant DeAndre Baker. Fourth platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant John Iriarte and trained by Drill Sergeant Cecily Martinez. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Russell Everett. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are approached by the American flag, it is appropriate to rise and remain standing until it has passed to your right. Bravo Company is commanded by Captain Jacob Liebheimer. First platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Eduardo Mesa and trained by Drill Sergeant Samantha Hunter. Second platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Yulia Dill and trained by Drill Sergeant Cody Davis. Third platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Enrique Hernandez and trained by Drill Sergeant Garrison Moss. Fourth platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Mason Monday and trained by Drill Sergeant Micaiah Lewis. In the rear of the formation is First Sergeant Darren Snyder. Charlie Company is commanded by Captain Ashley Burr. First platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Tanisha Evans and trained by Drill Sergeant Jesus Trejo. Second platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Robert Joyner and trained by Drill Sergeant Kaya Kirby. Third platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Nicholas Granado and trained by Drill Sergeant Tyler Winter. Fourth platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Joshua Letsky and trained by Drill Sergeant Deja Robinson. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant Andrew Wiley. Delta Company is commanded by Captain Bernadette Spezia. First platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Trey Tillman and trained by Drill Sergeant Paula Garcia. Second platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Marquise Washington and trained by Drill Sergeant Ryan Toole. Third platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Kenyatta Block and trained by Drill Sergeant Demetrius Shepard. Fourth platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Nicholas Rouse and trained by Drill Sergeant Manuel Collado. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant David Safranca. Santiago Company is commanded by Captain Stephen Presley. 1st Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Christian Santiago and trained by Drill Sergeant Matthew Henson. Second Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Christopher Jolly and trained by Drill Sergeant Christina Nail. Third Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Stephen Cavazos and trained by Drill Sergeant Gregory Hardy. Fourth Platoon is led by Senior Drill Sergeant Jeremiah Lindquist and trained by Drill Sergeant Clifton Kohanik. In the rear of the formation is the First Sergeant. First Sergeant Jason Caspers. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the retirement medley and the Army song. Please remain in the bleachers until the conclusion of the ceremony is announced.
Charge of the battalion. Bar nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Family members of awardees, please move to the canopy to the left of the bleachers. All others, please remain in your seats until you receive further instructions from the ushers or the narrator. Thank you, and congratulations to our newest soldiers.